Evening, everybody. I see here. I've been listening to the news and having to suffer with Kamala Harris and her supporters talking about January 6th again. Okay, that's what, 4 years ago almost, right? And they're claiming that Trump was committing insurrection. Well, I've spoken about this before, but I'll bring it up once more. Insurrection, if I recall the definition, it is the violent attempted overthrow of an existing government. On January 6th, Trump was the existing government. He was still president. He also had said to march peacefully to the Capitol in protest. So that is not violent whatsoever. And you have to look at it as the only person that was actually killed during the whole event was a young lady who was unarmed and a Navy veteran. And she was shot by a Capitol police officer, and she was flanked on both sides by other Capitol police officers, and this guy still pulled the gun and shot her. And he also got promoted less than a year later for that very action. Now, let's talk the Black Lives Matter movement and the riots in Washington, D.C. If the Democrats want to spew the word insurrection, that would have been the defining action of citizens committing an insurrection. During the BLM riots in Washington, D.C., they destroyed millions of dollars in property. They set fires, destroyed cars, people were injured. The President of the United States actually had to be evacuated. That qualifies as an insurrection. And what happened? The Democrats, the Democrat mayor, the city did nothing. Absolutely nothing. They just said it was a protest. Well, a protest is supposed to be peaceful. If anything is destroyed, it's no longer a protest, it's a riot. And it's against the law. So you choose. Who are you going to believe? Your own eyes? Or a bunch of politicians saying, there was nothing wrong here. They were just getting a little rambunctious, No. Face facts. During the Black Lives Matter riots in Washington, D.C., that qualified as an insurrection, and nothing happened to those people. The people that marched into the Capitol, yes, there were a few that were idiots, and they probably broke some stuff. But for the most part, if you look at the video footage of all the different camera angles, the people were marching through the Capitol building peacefully. And let's not forget, they paid for it. The government didn't pay for it. The government taxed the people and took their money to pay for it. That's why it's called the People's House. And if you have to restrict the access of the people that own the People's House, that means that you think you're better than they are. Was it wrong to go into the Capitol that day? Sure, kind of stupid. However, nobody destroyed any of the property within the Capitol. They were marching through. Matter of fact, that one guy, the shaman, whatever you want to call him, with the bulls, the Indian medicine man hat, he was being escorted to different rooms by the Capitol police officers. Okay? A guy who put his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk, I think he's still sitting in jail. Is that against the law? Yeah, but it's called trespassing. There's a very finite payment, or should I say sentence for trespassing. But the Democrats are keeping these people in jail for a couple of years now. And they've never been officially charged, which is a violation of their rights. So, let's get back to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Tampon Tim, as the governor of his state, allowed children to be abused by the gay community as, and I say abused because they were props. They were marching through the street during a pride parade wearing shirts that spelled out Walz's name. Walz also put tampons in a boys' bathroom in an elementary school. I'm telling you this. You are living in bizarro world right now, because if you don't pay attention to what's actually going on and you just listen to the status quo and don't question it, you're going to lose our country because of stupidity. Biology. Man, woman, period. When they dig up bones on human skeletons, you could tell the difference between a man and a woman just by the shape of the pelvis. So let that sink in. Your mental disorder is what's making you think that you're a woman if you're actually a guy. And it's getting out of hand. So, my recommendation to everybody is to pay attention. Stop believing the BS. Stop believing the mainstream media. Christ, they're about as corrupt as you can get. Think for yourselves, people. Think for yourselves and see what is actually going on. Don't believe me. Don't believe the media. Research it yourself. And let's put it this way. When you look up in Wikipedia, they considered January 6th a riot because people marched to the Capitol and walked through the building. They did not consider the BLM riots that destroyed millions of dollars of property as a riot. Let that sink in. It's who's reporting what and how they distort the news. Icy out.